Welcome, everyone. It's 55 and 5, episode 62. Cary, we're over the halfway point and we're gaining momentum. We're rolling downhill now.
62 or 40. No, 40. That's a hard 8 for 2 4s. 6 and a 2 is an 8. I like 8s.
There you go.
6s.
8's good. 8 is enough.
8 is good.
8 is good. 62 with the record-breaking number that so many people chased for years and years.
Yep.
To break Roger Maris's record set in 61. So we are here, though. It is episode 62. It's 55 and 5. A lot of numbers coming your way. Please stay with us. Today on 55 and 5, we're going to be talking about a man who is a fake member of a family with real people who had different names, and it gets complicated. Cary, you might know the last name. These are 5-minute history lessons about the stars of the 19th.
It's another Dusick?
It is not a Dusick.
Is it a Dupree?
It is not a Dupree. There's another fake family. It sounds like a nice. It sounds like a food dish to me. You know, people say riccaboni, rigatoni. It makes them think. This is kind of the same thing to me. I'm going to show the audience at home what this is. And Cary and I have 5 minutes to talk about a man named Pete Managoff.
Now, wait a minute. Didn't we have a Bobby Managoff earlier? 5 and 5?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. He's coming. It's complicated. The Managoffs are complicated.
Well, I know the name because it's just been a name you just see in the old magazines. And if you're going to ask me for more detail, I really can't give it to you. It's just a classic wrestling name. Oh, Cary. Well, what did he do? I don't know.
Sure.
But the Managoff name just stood out somehow. So please tell us.
Yeah, the most famous people have heard of Bobby. The most famous of his time, if you're contemporaneously judging who was the most famous, was probably Ivan. Ivan was involved in one of the original screw jobs for a stake at a recognized world championship. So Ivan in the 30s, he was known. He was kind of the world champion of the Managoffs, which I believe was a last name he assumed. Because then he'd bring Pete in 36. Pete became Joe Managoff, who then quickly became his second, Ivan's second. Ivan was not original Managoff. He became Bobby Managoff. So keep up. If you're following me here, Ivan became Bobby. Joe became Pete.
Okay.
Bobby won what's believed to be a double cross to become an acknowledged world champion at the time in 36. And that's when Pete, who was Joe, makes his debut. He wrestles for Eddie Quinn in Montreal, Maple Leaf Wrestling in St. Louis. He's kind of the third match guy. He's not bottom of the card. He's not the top of the card. He is the guy in the middle whose name you see. I know that guy.
Johnny Rod.
Yeah,
Pete
Johnny
Sanchez.
There you go. Hey, I know that guy. So he comes to Capitol in 58. He has a brief April to July of 58. He's in Capitol. Main events against Rocca. Faces Carpentier and challenges Dick Hutton, who's kind of the forgotten NWA champion, for the title in D.C.
Okay.
For the NWA World Championship. His most success was in 60. He goes down to Texas, becomes the NWA Texas champion. And some notes on that. That's the same title that Gino Hernandez, that David Von Erich, and even the Ultimate Warrior would hold.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that lineage goes back that far, if not further back. And he held the NWA World Tag Team titles as Man Mountain Managoff, because he was pretty tall. He was 6'4".
So the NWA tag titles, was it the two Managoffs?
No, no, it was not the two. It was not a real or fake Managoff.
Or is it like in the Honeymooners, Mrs. Manicotti upstairs?
There you go. One of those situations. Yeah, it was the Southwest version of that title. So, I guess.
So it wasn't with his brother.
It was not.
Alleged brother.
Alleged brother. or any of the other various assumed names of the Managoffs. But that's why you knew Bobby. Bobby was a disputed world champion involved in one of the first known screw jobs of the Roaring 30s. So, yeah, Pete, originally known as Joe, fake brother to Bobby, who was also known as Ivan. And there you have it. That's the Managoffs, Cary.
Interesting. Well,
yeah,
it's even it's amazing. You can even find this kind of information.
Right. And I'd like to shout out.
This was 20 years ago.
Right.
We couldn't do this.
Right. And actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I'd like to thank the WrestlingClassics.com message board that are still up, that aren't active but are archived, because that's where I found a lot of this particular information about the screw job and about Ivan and Bobby and Pete and Joe. That's where I found out the Joe information, because there's just threads on there that have this sort of information that are reliable, that have people chiming in who are interested in these kind of things.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Yeah, so that was one of the many Managoffs who aren't that many, because they all had different names at different times.
So this will bring us, that was 62. We're going on to 63.
63, and we're going to go to card number 1.
Okay,
tomorrow.
That's usually a good, in baseball cards, card 1, usually sort of a star.
Usually, and into the 60s, it was like the all-star card, or it was the home run leaders, or the batting average leaders, or the wins leaders for the pitchers. This one tomorrow, it's a star, but not in the way you might think.
Okay.
That's your hint. So,
cool.
Yeah, so for episode 62, we'd like to thank Bisson Creative and Web Design for helping us out with the video. I'd like to thank Cary for being our willing subject here on the 5-minute history lesson. And I'd like to thank you for watching. Please join us tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's when the videos go live each and every weekday, 55 and 5. I'm Ian Kabani. Thanks so much for watching.